If you run CVE with publish features, NLTK and automation, H2O GPT file APIs, or Azure AI Search, check versions and exposure today. The top risk is CVE 2026-66012 in SiYuan. NVD rates it critical, CVSS 10, and describes missing authorization around an MCP kernel endpoint. Patch first, restrict access, rotate exposed tokens or sessions, and keep logs for review. First, CVE 2026-66012 FX SiYuan before version 3.7.2. The vulnerable area is the MCP endpoint used to expose tools. According to NVD and the GitHub advisory, the endpoint relied on a general authentication check without enforcing admin role or read-only restrictions. In certain publish server configurations, anonymous access could be proxied with a reader role and still reach MCP tooling. The documented impact includes workspace file read, write, delete, rename, and copy actions, exposure of sensitive configuration values, arbitrary file writes in the workspace, and a path to administrator takeover after a desktop launch. This briefing is defensive only, no exploit commands or payloads. For SiYuan defenders, upgrade to version 3.7.2 or later, or apply the project fix referenced by the advisory. Disable anonymous publish access if it is not strictly required, place the service behind authentication and network allow lists, review MCP access and file operation logs, and rotate SiYuan access codes, API tokens, cookies, and any secrets stored near the workspace if exposure is plausible. Treat plugin directories and workspace files as privileged execution surfaces, not just notes. Second, CVE 2025-71408 affects NLTK before version 3.9.3 and is rated high in NVD. NLTK is widely used in data science and natural language processing pipelines, including AI preprocessing and experimentation. NVD describes eval injection in the collocations module when it is invoked directly with attacker-controlled command line arguments. The practical fix is to upgrade to NLTK 3.9.3 or later, avoid passing untrusted input into local tooling wrappers, and review scheduled jobs, notebooks, and CI scripts that execute NLP helper modules. Third, CVE 2026-65700 affects H2O GPT through version 0.2.1 and is rated critical, CVSS 9.8. It is path traversal in an OpenAI-compatible files API. At an advisory level, unauthenticated attackers may read, write, or delete files available to the server process, with possible code execution if sensitive application-loaded files are overwritten. Patch or apply project guidance, disable unneeded file endpoints, require authentication, restrict networks, review file operation logs, and rebuild from known good images where filesystem permissions were broad. Fourth, CVE 2026-56167 affects Azure AI Search and is rated high, CVSS 8.5. NVD and MSRC describe server-side request forgery that can let an authorized attacker elevate privileges over the network. Review update and advisory status in Microsoft guidance, validate managed identity scope, limit outbound access, prefer private networking, and turn on diagnostics. Across these cases, the pattern is clear. AI and data tooling often connects files, tokens, search, plugins, notebooks, and cloud identity. Inventory them like production control plane assets, patch quickly, reduce public exposure, enforce authorization, isolate file systems, rotate secrets, and preserve evidence.